Okay, is everybody ready? May I start now? Comrade Clerk, may I start now? Thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades, I am pleased to preside over the installation of your 2019-2021 Provincial Executive Officers. Comrade Sergeant of Arms, please present to me the newly elected BC Yukon Command Zone Commanders. Settle down, you ruffians. Thank you very much. Comrades, you've been elected by your fellow members to be the Chief Executive Officer of your zone of the Royal Canadian Legion. They have faith in your integrity and in your desire to serve the best interests of all members and of your zone in particular. I would remind you that this carries with it certain responsibilities. It will be your duty to attend and preside at all regular and special meetings of the zone, as well as all executive meetings of the zone. You are to promote and further the interests of the zone at all times. It will be your duty to maintain the traditions of your zone and the Royal Canadian Legion in general, to preserve the spirit of fair play and comradeship at all times, to preserve a nonpartisan attitude on all matters, to set an example of community service to your fellow comrades, to safeguard the best interests of this zone, of your zone, and the general welfare of your comrades of the Royal Canadian Legion, to cooperate with your Executive Council and the general membership of the zone, always bearing in mind the purposes and objects of the Legion and the duty of all comrades towards the disabled, the widows, and the dependents. Before I officially install you in your office, will you give your fellow members an assurance that you will endeavor to carry out to the fullest extent of your powers your various responsibilities? Are you ready to give such an assurance? Please turn around and face the comrades. Wait. Please repeat after me. I pledge myself to perform the duties of my office as commander of my zone within the BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion, faithfully, fearlessly, and in a nonpartisan manner, to the best of my abilities. Now turn around and face me again, please. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby declare you duly installed as commanders of your zone in the BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion. I congratulate you on the honor that has been conferred upon you and wish you a successful term of office. Sergeant of Arms, please conduct the newly installed commanders to their seats of office. I hereby declare the zone commanders of BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion duly installed in their respective offices. Comrades, I take much pleasure in extending to you and all the officers and members of your zone my sincere good wishes. Sergeant of Arms, please present the newly elected Treasurer of BC Yukon Command. Thank you very much. Comrade Dyack, you've been elected to the important office of Treasurer of BC Yukon Command. It will be your duty to ensure that an accurate account of all monies received or paid out by the command and a record of all other financial transactions is maintained. You will ensure that all funds are deposited in the name of the command and in a bank or institution designated by the command and authorized by the general bylaws. You will also ensure that BC Yukon Command's books are kept up to date at all times and be ready to produce them whenever called upon to do so by an appropriate authority. It will be necessary for you to work in conjunction with any committees whose duties involve the handling of your command funds. I now declare you duly installed as Treasurer of BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion. Sergeant of Arms, please conduct the newly installed Treasurer to his seat of office. I don't know. Just don't sit in the middle. Who? Sergeant of Arms, please present to me the newly elected BC Yukon Command Chairman. Thank you very much. Comrade Grieve, you've been elected to the important office of Chairman of this command. This is a great responsibility. It will be your duty to attend and preside over meetings of the command executive officers. Your duties will call for a thorough knowledge of the Legion. You will be required to give careful consideration to the merits of all matters under debate and to conduct all meetings in accordance with parliamentary procedures as set out in the Legion's publication, Rules of Procedure for Legion Meetings. I now declare you duly installed as Chairman of BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion. Sergeant of Arms, please conduct the newly installed Chairman to his seat of office. Sergeant of Arms, please present to me the newly elected vice presidents. Thank you very much. Comrades Thompson, Scott, and Underhill, you've been elected by your fellow members to be the first and vice presidents, respectively, of this command. In the absence of your president, all rights and powers vested in the president shall, for the time being, be committed to your charge in accordance with your seniority of office. It will be your responsibility to carry out any duties assigned to you by the president. Do you then pledge yourselves to assist your president and to well and truly carry out the duties of your office? Then, comrades, I have much pleasure in declaring you duly installed as first and vice presidents, respectively, of BC Yukon Command. Sergeant of Arms, please conduct the newly installed vice presidents to their seats of office. No, I think. Sergeant of Arms, please present to me the immediate past president of BC Yukon Command. Thank you very much. Comrade Hodge, I take this opportunity to express the thanks of your comrades for your contribution to the progress of this command through your leadership during your term as president. You have accumulated experience which will be invaluable to your successor. I therefore charge you with a continued responsibility towards your command and the officers who are now entrusted with its affairs. Are you prepared to accept this responsibility? Then, comrade, it gives me great pleasure in declaring you duly installed in your new function as immediate past president of BC Yukon Command and the Royal Canadian Legion. Comrade Sergeant of Arms, please conduct the newly installed immediate past president to his seat of office. One at a time.
Whatever it takes.
You bet. Meeting will come to order. Comrade Sergeant of Arms, please present to me the newly elected President of BC Yukon Command. Thank you very much. Comrade McGregor, you have been elected by your fellow members to be the Chief Executive Officer of the BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion. They have faith in your integrity and in your desire to serve the best interests of all veterans and of this command in particular. I would remind you that this honor carries with it certain responsibilities. It will be your duty to attend and preside at all regular and special meetings, in addition to all executive meetings of the command. It will be your duty to assume responsibilities for the care of the mission and other command property. It will also be your duty to maintain the traditions of the BC Yukon Command and the Royal Canadian Legion in general, to preserve the spirit of fair play and comradeship at all times, to set an example of community service to your fellow comrades, to promote the best interest of this command and the general welfare of your comrades of the Royal Canadian Legion, to ensure that your command is represented at Dominion Executive Council meetings, to cooperate with your executive committee and the general membership of the command, always bearing in mind the purposes and objects of the Legion and the duty of all comrades toward those who need assistance. Before I officially install you in your office, will you give your fellow members an assurance that at all times you will endeavor to carry out to the fullest extent of your power your various responsibilities? Are you ready to give such an assurance? Now turn around and face your comrades. Repeat after me. I pledge myself to perform the duties of my office as President of this BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion, faithfully and to the best of my ability. And you may turn around and face me again, please. By the virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby declare you duly installed as President of BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion. I congratulate you on the honor that has been conferred upon you and wish you a successful term of office. Sergeant of Arms, please conduct the newly installed President to her seat of office. Please be seated. I hereby declare the officers of BC Yukon Command of the Royal Canadian Legion officially installed in their respective offices. Comrade, I take much pleasure in extending to you and all the officers and members of this command my sincere good wishes. That's it for me. Just making sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I get the incoming provincial president for some remarks, please? And they better be nice ones.
We'll try and be nice.
You're welcome.
Comrades, we are now at the close of a productive and successful convention. It's been an honor to share in the deliberations which will shape the future of our organization, and I thank you for your confidence in my ability to lead BC Yukon Command for the next 2 years. I'm pleased to share with you that BC Yukon Command has made some great strides in the past 2 years and is now in a successful operational mode. I thank the admin finance team and I thank the admin finance team from the past 2 years who, with the support and guidance of the Board of Trustees, have implemented the changes necessary to build positive relationships between our Provincial Command, Dominion Command, and our branches. As we move forward, we must commit to upholding the core values of the Royal Canadian Legion. Personal agendas must be set aside as we strive to remain relevant in an ever-changing world. My personal commitment is to continue to move this command forward in a positive and progressive manner, focusing on transparency in all aspects of command operations. Collectively, we will strive to promote membership in our organization, to create a positive environment within our branches where all veterans are welcome and veteran services and the communities we serve are at the forefront of all we do. Our Veterans Welcome Program is a perfect opportunity to engage with veterans who have never been members of the Legion. By embracing currently serving members, we are welcoming new and younger veterans. In doing so, there's a need to redefine the way we do business to ensure we are meeting their needs. Government and military engagement will continue to be a priority. Keeping the lines of communication open is vital as it serves to raise our community profile and bring attention to the needs of our veteran support initiatives, and the charitable work of BC Yukon Command and the Royal Canadian Legion in general. The flagship of our current provincial initiatives is, of course, Legion's Veterans Village. We will continue to work with our community partners, support groups, and government liaisons to ensure this amazing project becomes a reality. Membership is a challenge which is never ending. We all have a responsibility to do our part in engaging new members and ensuring they have a positive Legion experience. Today, I'd like to challenge every person in this room to sign up one new member before December 31st and to personally welcome them into their local branch. As we move forward, I encourage each of you to continue to work with your branches and in cooperation with your ladies' auxiliaries and community partners to showcase the great work of our organization. In closing, my sincere thanks to the command staff for their efforts in making this convention a success. I thank each of you who attended here for sharing your thoughts for the good of the Legion. Last, but certainly not least, I thank my husband, Glenn, for supporting me as I support my commitment to the Legion. As members of the Royal Canadian Legion, we each have a role to play in taking BC Yukon Command to the next level. I look forward to working with you and to achieving our goals. Thank you. Okay.
It's almost like they're going steady, they're exchanging pins.
We have to be careful.
This pin is a past president's pin, which has been passed on from president to president within BC Yukon Command. It's a BCEL past president's pin. So congratulations, Val. Wear it with pride.
Thank you, Glenn.
I don't want to put a big hole in your uniform, so I'll let you do it when you get home. I know.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
So now
Today's military would have had to say something like, "May I adjust your equipment?" This time I'd like to introduce the LAC chairman, Rick Lundeen. I think you all know him by now.
Thanks, comrades. He's not going to let me get the last word anyway, so I just want to thank everyone again for attending. Thanks to the command staff and thanks to my wonderful local arrangements committee. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick, for you and your committee, a job well done. Comrades, at this time I'd like to know if Comrade Irvin would like to return to the podium for any closing remarks he would like to make and for the adjournment of the 2019 BC Yukon Command Convention. Meeting stand at attention, please. He's got no remarks, but he said you're the best convention he's seen.
I see. I thought he wanted me to close. I don't know what. He's right. I had a great time while I was here, and I can speak for Stephen, the executive director. It was a great convention. There was good debates. You're all comrades. I can see that. You're all getting along together. This is a great command, and we really had a good time. Congratulations on a job well done.
Sergeant at Arms, prepare to march off the colors.